Hello, my friends. We're going to continue talking about A Course in Miracles. And I've been going through my 5 a.m. live stream readings, decided to go through the 50 principles of miracles. It's the beginning of A Course in Miracles, of course, right after the famous introduction. Only love is real. Nothing unreal exists. Therein lies the peace of God. That is the introduction. And as I've often said, I don't know if you need to get past that. I think if you fully embrace the meaning, or if you allow that meaning to embrace you, then everything else falls into place. That might be the entire message of the Course, the entirety of what we need to know. However, it might take 365 lessons and a 700 plus page text, as well as a manual for teachers, for it to sink in. Maybe it doesn't. Everyone's different. And not everyone makes it through the entirety of the course the first go around. Probably the majority of people don't. It took me a long time. I picked up the course in the early 90s, and it was only until 2008 when, for whatever reason, lots of reasons, but we won't get into them now, it was my time to sincerely and deeply live the course to the best of my ability. In review, it wasn't all that good, but I stuck with it. And then, of course, put the book aside. I read plenty. I would still come back to it. I would still open it as a refresher, but I was largely living the false impression that when you're done, you're done. You get through the book and now you live it. Of course, the ego is so persistent that we're drawn right back into all the previous stuff. Maybe a little less so, but enough to still bring misery, enough to still bring suffering. So, back to the grindstone. It's not that much of a grind. Not this time. It has been a loving experience, re-immersing myself into the Tao, into A Course in Miracles. Really, it's the same thing. And that is all the difference. There was a message the Course had for me. And every time I dove into it, from the early 90s onwards, I got something from it. But the message wasn't strong enough to pull me in. It was enough to keep me there for periods of time through the years, to work with it, to really try to live my life through the message that was received. It was not enough for me to fall in love with it. However, lately, I have fallen in love with A Course in Miracles. Not just with the message, but with the course. Doesn't mean that one day I won't put the text aside. We're actually urged to eventually set the text aside and just allow the Holy Spirit to guide us. But for right now, the Holy Spirit is guiding me back into the book, back into the book, back into the book, specifically the text. So, right now, the early morning 5 a.m. Course in Miracles readings, I've been doing the Principles of Miracles. This is just the third day. We'll probably get through all 50. I don't know if it'll be 50 in a row. I don't know. We'll see. But I love number 3. So I'm going to read that right now. Miracles occur naturally as expressions of love. The real miracle is the love that inspires them. In this sense, everything that comes from love is a miracle. I love the whole thing. I was going to pick one little line, but everything. Miracles occur naturally as expressions of love. It's so relaxing. Just letting go, surrendering, and you have a life of miracles. Occurring naturally as expressions of love. Meaning that when I get tired of all these projections, when I get tired of the world in which I perceive then I can forgive, turn within, and change from perceiving to extending, from projecting to extending. Extending as love, which means the entirety of my life is a miracle. And the real miracle is the love that inspires them. The real miracle is the love that inspires me to extend love, to forgive, to take what comes to me that seems other than love and use it as fuel to turn within and to forgive. And in that sense, everything that comes from love is a miracle. Meaning, even the things that don't seem to come from love end up being love in disguise, because it helps me forgive. So, meaning of miracles. There are 50 principles. That was number 3. Take care, guys.